Good day, and I'm Russell Eastaugh from Regan Van Roy, here to talk about another aspect of the current Nigerian tax law reforms, this time mining, and in particular mining royalties. Now, Nigeria has long had a process of collecting royalties on mineral production, and there's a list published by the Ministry of Solid Minerals of the royalty rates and the official selling price on which those rates are to be applied. So, for example, if I look at coal in the 2024 list, 3% of the official selling price was the royalty, and the approved market price, was 100,000 naira per ton. So that was all right and good, and that essentially was a definable amount of naira per unit of production, normally ton, but sometimes ounce if it was gold, for example. Now that is all changed under the Nigerian Tax Act. And what changes is several things. One, the agency that collects it will no longer be the ministry, but now will be the FIRS, or in its new guise, the Nigerian Revenue Service. The second is the rates, and some of the rates have, well, most of the rates have changed. If I look at gold, for example, the 2024 rate was 3%, the 2026 rate 15%. So that's quite a big increase. Now, the other part of it, though, is what it's charged on. Previously, it was the approved market value as published by the Ministry of Solid Minerals. Going forward, it is going to be the official selling price, which will either be an amount defined by the ministry or the price from a approved marketplace, a recognized marketplace rather, an international trading platform, for example. Now, it doesn't really tell us which one to use. So, for example, if I look at tin, will I use the London Metal Exchange price or some other price? And that could be said for a number of other things. Even for the gold price, would it be the London Bullion Market Association price? But whatever, it's now going to be, it looks like it'll be much more flexible and closely related to the market value in many things. I think for goods like sand and limestone, which aren't traded on exchanges, it'll be a price. I think it'll have to be a price that's released by the ministry, and hopefully they'll do so quickly before the law comes into force on the 1st of January. But overall, because of the percentage increases, it looks like a really reasonably hefty increase in the amount of royalty. Now that is a bit of an issue because these royalties have been creeping up over the years. In 2024, so there was an increase. The previous one was 2021, and these are percentage increases, so they are a real hit on the mining company. And in a time when prices perhaps are low, at the moment they're often not, but if they were, that could land up sterilizing part of the resource base of the company. They just would not be able to economically extract it because of the fixed cost of having to pay this royalty. So I can understand the government reasons for it, and there's a lot to be said for and against it. And that's not really what I want to get into. The point here is be ready for a big increase from January in the amount of royalty that mining companies have to pay. Be aware also that mining companies are not just the people digging up the gold and exporting it, or tin perhaps, but also those producing sand, cement, which is generally used by the limestone generally used by the cement production companies, and coal, often used also by the cement companies. There's not a lot of coal burning going on otherwise, I don't think, in Nigeria. And the days of exporting coal have long since passed. So these are our internal transfer prices, really. So, and it also applies to even to artisanal and small scale miners. That's the theory, and that'll be the job of the FIRS to make sure that it does apply to them, I guess. And we'll see what their approach to that is going to be. So there is quite a lot of change, in the mining industry taxation altogether, and indeed in taxation altogether, through the application of both the NTA, the Nigerian Tax Act, and the Nigerian Tax Administration Act. So very interesting times. And again, as ever, we offer to be available for consultation, for discussions, if anybody's got any problems they want to talk about. Good day.